What up, nerds? Welcome to another weekly reads. If you're new here, this is your first time visiting the Nerdy Narrative. Hello, welcome. My name is Leslie Smith. This channel is all about the things that I read. This video specifically is what I spent reading over the last week, what I finished, what I'm currently working on, and what I plan to read next. We'll start with my featured review, which is my most current finished read, and that is a novella called A Palace Near the Wind by Ai Jiang. It's the first book in a new series by this author called Natural Engines. By the time this video goes live, it will be published and available for you to purchase if you like, so I'll have it linked in the description below. It was published on April 15th, courtesy of Titan Books. I was graciously provided an advanced reader copy by the author. She reached out to me and asked if I would like a copy. I was so flattered that she remembered me, and I told her that. She replied, "Of course I remember you. You're one of the first people who supported me when I started publishing." I will keep that email forever and ever. So the two things that I've read previously by this author and why I jumped on the chance to read A Palace Near the Wind. So the first thing that I read by her was a novella called Ling Hyun, which is one of the most intriguing haunted house stories I've ever read. And if you've been around the channel a while, you know I love haunted house stories. This one, so the surface story is about a haunted house, but there's a deeper theme of grief, loss, the loss of a loved one specifically, and it's so good. The second thing that I read by her is a story called I Am AI, and it is just about the terrifying future of creativity, artificial intelligence, to name one of the many things, and just what that could look like in our future. This one's more science fiction, but I would say it has a healthy dose of horror in it as well. So that is why I came to read A Palace Near the Wind, which is a blend of science fiction fantasy. It is a beautiful yet brutal, wildly inventive story about a family who suffers loss, oppression, and rebellion. For my audiobook lovers out there, I am one of them. At time of filming, I did not see where there was going to be an audiobook available for this one. So right now, I believe you are only able to get it physically and digitally. Before we dive into the book description, I do want to take a quick second to just admire the cover art for this one. It just conveys to me a soothing type of feeling, which I felt really captured the Windwalkers, who are the main characters of this story. The Windwalkers, from my understanding, are a race of beings who are trees. They're a part of nature. Not all trees are Windwalkers. There are specific ones, and you do get a bit of their history revealed in this first novella. And where we begin, where we start with this story, is the family that is of the elder of the Windwalkers. The oldest granddaughter is being married off to the king of the palace. In return for offering up this granddaughter, the king will agree to so many years before expanding further into nature. So at this point, you're probably getting a grasp on the theme of industry versus nature and how it's overtaking nature with no regard, no respect for it. Our main character, Lu Feng, she's the eldest of this royal family of Windwalkers. She was next in line to lead the Windwalkers, and that's why she has been the last one offered to the king in order to stop the progress of industry into the forest. The reader has a front row seat to the internal conflict and struggle that's going on within Lu Feng. She doesn't understand why her mother and all of her sisters have had to go and marry this king, how they have had to adapt in order to survive in that world of humans and flesh. At the same time, she grieves for the losses that her people have suffered. Now they've lost their eldest princess. They're constantly losing more and more of the forest and their culture. So she has decided she's going to be the one that's going to end it. She is going to kill the king. She's going to search out and see if her mother and her sister still live, and she's going to attempt to rescue them and save her people in the process. I have always been a huge fan of the one that takes on the many in order to save their people. So I had a feeling I was going to enjoy this one. I did end up giving this one 4 stars. I have always been a big fan of this author's writing style. Such vivid imagery, and she really played into descriptions of things we're familiar with. Every single person that reads this book, they're gonna know what a tree looks like. They're gonna know what the feel of bark feels like. I think most of us, especially me, I grew up in the South, we're gonna know what pine needles feel like. We're gonna know a little bit about the scents of the forest. And of course, we're gonna know about human scents, the things that you would imagine smelling, seeing, touching in a palace. So the author uses that in the descriptions to really engage in your sense of touch, smell, feel, so that you're able to really picture this, because it's so odd when you think of a person that has pine needles for hair and bark on their face. So it was written in such a way that it got you in, you felt some of these things. You could really imagine it. And I'm one of those lucky people who, when I read a book, I see it play out like a picture in my mind. So the way that this author writes really plays into that and makes it an even more clear and vivid picture, if that makes any type of sense. It really just lands me in that world. I feel like I'm standing there watching this happen rather than just reading about it. Funnily enough, I did not particularly care for our main characters. I really liked the side characters, particularly one named Geyser, and I'm not going to tell you why because I don't want to spoil the story for anyone that might be wanting to pick this one up, but that's the one that stole my heart, and I feel that never mind, I'm not going to say it. That's a spoiler. This is the hard part about talking about books. So we're just going to leave it at, I really liked the side characters more so than the main characters, which completely satisfies me as a character-driven reader. As long as I have one character that I'm absolutely head over heels in love with, or one that I really love to hate, I am good on that front. I also have to say, I was a little bit surprised at the intrigue in this one. I would describe the pacing as being a little bit more on the slower side, a little bit of a slow burn, because this is something that has been happening for years, possibly centuries. This has been an ongoing arrangement between the elder royalty line of the Windwalkers and these humans here in this palace near them. So it's been going on for a while. So we get a taste of that slow burn as we're working up toward a possible rebellion if Lu Fang is able to put her plan into action. And she's a gentle creature. She's a quiet creature. She's a peaceful creature. This is something that she's going to have to work up the courage to do. So it's not anything you're going to be sitting there furiously going through the pages. It's a slow build. So I was a little shocked at some of the surprises and reveals that came in this one. I was going, wait a minute, I did not see that coming. So you almost get kind of in this lull, and then the author's like, oh, here's this, and you're going, wait, what? So it had a little bit of a unique quality to it, which is a characteristic that this author has displayed in everything that I've read by her. She's had something unique that made it stand out. It just makes it memorable, something you're not going to quickly forget after you've put this one down. And that's pretty much the extent of what I can share of my thoughts and opinions about A Palace Near the Wind while keeping it spoiler free. This author, ever since I first read Ling Hyun by her, I said here on the channel, this was an author to watch. I predicted she was going to become a household name. She has done nothing but gone on to prove me right. She has won so many awards. She's been nominated for so many more. Her writing style is just absolutely astonishing. It's brilliant. She writes everything. What is she going to do next? So we've had science fiction, we've had horror, and now fantasy. I can't wait to see what she's going to write next, especially when it comes to the sequel, book 2 of Natural Engines. So let's talk about what I am still currently reading. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know I've been working on Ships of Merrior by Janie Wirtz for a long time. I've been taking it slowly, just savoring it, and depending on the time that I have to get this edited and uploaded, Though I'm not going to hold my breath, more than likely by the time you're seeing this, the live show for Ships of Merior has already occurred on Jake's channel, Nerd Level Rising. So if you have read at least through the second book, check out that live stream. I'm going to have it linked in the description below. This one has been such a great character development of, I would say, 2 characters mostly, and oh my goodness, it's been heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking, but also has a lot of well-placed humor, at least in my opinion, and it's probably because it's involving one of my favorite characters. I seem to be in the minority that Dakar is a favorite character. It seems like nobody loves him as much as I do. That's okay. Somebody's got to love the unlovable ones, right? I'm also about to finish my reread of The Source by Brian Lumley. I'm listening to this one on audiobook. Oh, James Langdon does an amazing job with this series. This is a series I've read many, many times. I used to, when I was younger, I got the mass market paperbacks, which has the best covers. My eyes just can't do that tiny writing anymore. And because I've read this series so much, I'm listening to the audiobooks. And like I said, if you're an audiobook lover and you've never heard James Langdon, oh, he does such a great job. I think I will finish this one today, day of filming, which no telling when that video is going to actually make it onto the channel. I just kind of get videos up as I can, but I do try to get one up a week. So probably a week after you see this, you're going to see this one as the feature review. This one is my favorite in the series so far. It's the 3rd book in the series, and it's where our main character, Harry Keogh, who is the Necroscope, which is what the series is named for, he travels to the other Earth, the alien world, where the vampiri, or the vampires, originate from. The source world. I forgot how much I love this book. I forgot what all happened in this book until my memory got jostled as I was listening to it, and I am just absolutely loving it. If you like dark, horrific stories involving vampires at truly the worst, as they should be. Vampires were never meant to be sparkly. And I say that as somebody who read and loved the Twilight series. I liked it. I did enjoy that series a lot, but I will say I like my vampires, the bloodthirsty creatures who take everything to excess. I like these much more. This is absolutely my favorite vampire series ever. Netflix, you're the dark ones. Why have you not adapted this yet? I know you could. You could too. Oh. Ooh. Charlie Cox would make a fantastic Harry Keogh. Anyway, I digress. So I'm about to finish this one. And then what I will be reading next, One Piece Volume 11. I meant to start this one a week or 2 ago, just never got around to it. And so this is going to be next. And as soon as I get through Volume 11, I'm going to start the anthology Never Whistle at Night, edited by Shane Hawk. My friend Evie sent me a collection of short stories that Shane Hawk wrote years ago. Anoka, I believe, is the name of that collection. I have it over there on the shelf. So I was excited to recognize one of the editors of this anthology, and I'm excited to read these. This is the book club pick for a local bookstore that opened near me. It's a newer one. I haven't actually even been to it yet. It's about 35 minutes away. So I'm going to go to the book club at the end of the month, and it will be my first time visiting the store and taking part in the club, and I'm really excited. I did not recognize many of the authors in this one, so I'm really excited to taste test a bunch of new authors. The short stories are fantastic for that. If you can write a banger of a short story, do something in that short amount of time that makes me go wow and remember you, that's when you know if you pick up something more full size by them, you're gonna have a good time. So that takes care of my week in reading, what I finished, what I'm currently reading, and what I'm planning to read next. Hopefully I have talked about something here you're either interested now in picking up and reading for yourself, or you're interested in hearing more about. Whatever the case, hope you come back next week and see what I've been up to. Thank you for being here today and watching. It means the world. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one.